What's up?
Oh, I'm just compiling all the top sports scores, news, and odds so I can make the very best bets.
Me too. BetOnline.ag.
Join today and receive your 50% welcome bonus at betonline.ag.
Questions, please, for Kyrie. Gary Walsh from Boston Globe. You said that you'd be better in these games in Boston. You struggled in Game 3 and now Game 4, 7 for 22. What happened?
Missed shots. Shots just didn't go in. Go out and prepare. Like I said, sometimes they're going, sometimes they aren't. They do a great job of loading too. So, making the paint look crowded whenever I'm driving or wherever I'm going on the court. Seeing 2 or 3 bodies, sometimes 4, still kicking out and trying to make the right plays. Just continue to do so. Now it's just time to get ready for Game 5.
Mark James, WEI, and NSN. You guys have lost 3 straight games, so now you have to win 3 in a row to advance in the series. What's your confidence level in this team to get by this series?
Well, that's unwavering. It's a game of basketball. At this point, we obviously understand the X's and O's. It's just going out and just trying to manage the game better. We tried to do that the last few games. Tonight, the third and fourth quarter is where they made their money, as well as in the second, holding us to 19. They're doing a great job of making us make multiple efforts on both ends of the floor, putting us in some positions, putting some guys on different guys, driving the basketball to the rim, getting open layups, making the game easy for one another. They feel good about themselves, and you got to break a rhythm like that, and we fail to do so at certain points in the game where they've gone on runs, and it's shown.
Kyrie, Chris Gasper, Boston Globe. Have you ever had a 3-game stretch like this in the playoffs, and how mentally challenging is it?
What do you mean?
Have you ever had a shooting stretch like this? I think it's now at this point 19 for 62.
Yeah, who cares? I'm a basketball player. Prepare the right way. Like I said, it's a little different when your rhythm is challenged every play down. You're being picked up full court. They're doing things to test you, and the expectations on me are going to be sky high. And I try to utilize their aggression against them and still put my teammates in great positions while still being aggressive. I'm trying to do it all. So, for me, the 22 shots, I should have shot 30. It really not great of a shooter. So I think that just the consistency of just going at it, staying aggressive is always going to put us in a great position. Obviously, being more cautious on the turnovers, getting down the stretch when they're going on runs or managing the game better that way, I feel like it'd do better. But in terms of shooting, it's a series. They're doing a great job of rolling, making sure they're putting a high emphasis on anywhere I go on the court.
Kyrie, Mark D'Amico, Celtics.com. Obviously, you're the only guy in that locker room who has actually come back from down 3-1 in a series. Are there any comparisons that you can make to the way that series played out and this one has played out? And then what do you tell the guys about what it took for you to go through that experience and be successful?
It's hard to make any comparisons at that, at this stage, of anything. It's really hard because, you just have an appreciation of where you were at that time and the amount of experience that was garnered, throughout the series and throughout the playoffs and each of the runs and that as we, look at our run right now and what we're in, staying present. It's hard to bring back that emotion to it because, I think that the difference in level is just the experience. That's been the biggest thing for us this season as well as in this playoffs, postseason, getting tested at this point is just the basketball knowledge aspect of it. Mike Budenholzer is putting, myself, other guys in different positions where, you're asked to think multiple moves ahead. And, if you're not, then they'll force you into a tough shot. They're clogging the rim, they're help side. They're making sure that they're high hands in the passing lanes. They're putting Giannis at the rim, contesting everything. So they're making things difficult in that paint. We could, sit up here and say, like, okay, we need to do this right, we need to do this right. But at the end of the day, they're still going to make you think. And throughout the game, they've been making us think and making us kind of make reads, and we fail to do so at certain times. But in certain points in the game, we look really great. We feel really good. But once we take our foot off the gas pedal, they're coming right back at us with a play that they've run over and over again, putting us in rotation. So we just got to manage that better.
Kyrie, Idan Gadinsky, Sports 5. You left the court a few seconds before your teammates, before the game was over. What did you think in those seconds going into the locker room?
The game was over.
Kyrie, Adam Himmelsbach with Boston Globe. What are you seeing, or what have you seen in these 4 games that gives you confidence you guys can turn this around? Or are there things you guys can pull, and what needs to change, do you think?
Just their runs. Like I said, their runs, just managing their runs better. You know, Mike does a great job of calling plays on the fly, plays that have worked all series. Know that, you know, this is bread and butter. They're scoring a high clip on, you know, these particular plays, these 3 plays, and you know, regardless of whether we switch or make adjustments, he still knows that's something that they can go to. So I think that gives us confidence to look at film and know exactly what those plays are, but we just got to grab them better.
Final question, John, front row. Kyrie, John Corrales, Mass Live. All season long, it seems like a habit of this team has been when shots aren't falling, that the defense seems to slip a little bit to allow these opponents to go on runs. Can you explain why that happens and why it's still happening in the playoffs?
Well, the ball doesn't go on the rim. You know, the energy of the basketball can translate into the other end as well. That's just basketball one-on-one. That's a choice that we all have to make. You know, just being more communicative. You know, it's a natural thing as an individual when your shots aren't going into, you know, be thinking about that shot as you go down the defensive position. It can take you out mentally where, you know, the other team is running, especially in the playoffs, where the possessions are magnitude, like they're magnified unbelievably. And you know, it's been a consistent thing for us where we haven't made shots, and the defensive end of the floor has taken lapses, but it just can't happen going forward. You know, we have no choice at this point. It's do or die.
Thank you, Gary.